Travelers, vacation travel hacks here. Today, we are talking about Royal Caribbean, the 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruise, and perfect day at CocoCay. If you're watching this, you're either on the ship for this itinerary from Port Canaveral to St. Martin, St. Thomas, and of course the perfect day, or you're thinking about being on this ship. Purpose of this video is to help you with the logistics of getting to Port Canaveral, getting through the airport, where to stay before, and then getting you to each of the ports of call and letting you decide, do I need to spend money on excursion, or is a free option readily available? And to more importantly, orientate you to each port of call so that you can at least be safe and not, put yourself in harm's way. So let's get started. So if you've never been to the Port of Port Canaveral before, it's out of Orlando. And over here on your far left-hand side, Orlando International Airport, it's about a 45-minute drive with no traffic, no accidents, no construction from the airport to the port. It is recommended that you fly in at least the day before. I'm not saying that flying in the day of can't be done. But recently, with some strikes, mechanical issues, system issues, operations issues, traffic control issues, seems like any number of reasons could cause a delay. And a delay, if you're flying in the day of, could mean you're not making the ship. So we recommend flying in the day before. There is options of staying really close to the airport. And if you're going to do that, you might want to use there's so many third-party people to get you from this side of Orlando to the cruise port. Mears Transportation, the same company that will get you to Disney World or Universal. Also, GoPort is a great option. We stayed just north of the airport. We didn't even need to use our alarms. The hotels were so close to the takeoff area that it just woke us up right when the airport started operations, and we were excited to get on the cruise ship anyway. Otherwise, you can use your own however you get there, whether Uber, taxi, Lyft, GoPort, Mears, a limo service to get from the airport. You could spend the night closer, Cocoa Beach, just right around here. Any one of these places will do it, and that'll get you there. I'm staying at a hotel when we go on this cruise ship in November, just north of the Kennedy Space Center. So it'll be about a 20-minute drive. All right, so your goal is fly in, get settled, wake up, head to the cruise port, and that will take you down here. Royal Caribbean, typically, you'll follow the signs. There's digital signs of where to go to get on your cruise ship. Sometimes Port Canaveral, unlike Miami, is a little bit more static, i.e., you got Mardi Gras up here, Royal Caribbean, the bigger ships over here, the Royal Caribbean smaller cruise ships can be over here, MSC's over here, Disney's over here, Carnival. So it's pretty, I'm not going to say it can't change. I mean, the digital signs are there to tell you, hey, Wonder of the Seas is right here. And then you just keep driving, follow the exits. It'll tell you which exit to take. If you're taking a shuttle, it'll drop you off, at the porters. And just a handy tip, have cash. I didn't know that my first time. I didn't watch this. I didn't make this video the first time. So anyway, it'll drop you off, and then you're on a really efficient boarding process to get on the ship. And then you're relaxing. You're relaxing and on your way to, one of your stops is Phillipsburg St Martin. This is a pretty cool island. It's like two countries, like literally Dutch and French. So the cruise port is way down here, and where all the touristy, trappy things are, you're going to have like your duty-free stuff down by the cruise port where it says Port of St. Martin. And you won't be the only cruise ship there. When we were there was 4. One of them I've never even heard of, AIDA. I think it was a Dutch cruise company, but the ship was really huge. It was a really big ship. If you want to go walk down kind of the Philipsburg, it's a nice touristy area, but to get there is the walking distance to the foot ferry, about $5-10 to take the ferry per person. I recommend cash for that, and they do like most places in the world, they do take the United States dollar. Otherwise, This island has the Maho Beach. Actually, I will be here in December on a different cruise. I'm going to show you some of the Royal Caribbean shore excursion options available for Philipsburg. And yeah, so they have a thing called Maho Beach. And this, if you don't know, this is where you can stand on the beach and like a plane will like land like right over your head. Here you go, plane spotting. And that I did that. I did that last year, and I hope to do it again in December. And you just stand, you can swim like these people are swimming. Otherwise, if you've never been on, it's you got options. You can snorkel, you can swim, you can see the city. There's an awful bunch of different options as to what you can do. And I'll narrow it down here to St. Martin here. We'll scroll down and take a catamaran. There's one of these options, Anguilla. It looks like it's about $300 to get there. Here it is right here. And Anguilla is kind of like its own little map. And it looks, well, I'm a big map guy. I like going on map. Let me zoom out of CocoCay here, and we'll head on over to St. Martin, which is right down a little bit more. Here we are, Anguilla, Philipsburg. Look at this right here. So for about $300, I think that's how much it cost. Yeah, a little over 300 per person. It don't even matter if you're a kid or not. You can. It's a 7-hour excursion, rather 7-day tour. That's the Gilligan Island tour. You don't want that one, and it takes you up here, and you are on the other island for the day. So it'd be about $1,000 for my family. Thinking about it, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of other stuff to do. I mean, the sand up here is going to be just as good as the sand down in Philipsburg. So I don't know. But as you zoom in here, oh, hey, check this out. I'm pretty sure this is the Wonder of the Seas right here. I'm pretty sure about it. Pretty sure that's the ship when the satellite flew over. So anyway, let's hop back into the shore options. If you like snorkeling, if you like being on the beach, if you just want to do a city tour, they also have a rum tasting tour. The cool thing about the city tour was it took you to both parts. The country tour, the top 10 of St. Martin, took you to both parts of the country, and it's like different languages, different customs, different, even the signs change regarding the traffic controls. So anyway, it's whatever you pick is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it. It's about the long and the short of it there. Otherwise, St. Thomas. This was another island I go on a lot of cruises. If I'm not on a cruise, I'm talking about cruises, and it's a lot of fun. So this one will put you right here. Is there something to do for free here? Yeah, there is. Actually, there is extensive shopping here. All these shops right here are just not even really part of the duty-free area in a matter of speaking. Not like you walk off and you go through like your own little tent of duty-free stuff. It's just a whole bunch. It's similar to an outlet mall. It is St. Thomas. It is the U.S. Virgin Islands. So the deals aren't necessarily ridiculous. Actually, the deals weren't super great. But seeing this harbor, like it was really fantastic. We got off the boat, and if you're worried about walking, if you do take a boat excursion, there is a little bit of a walk, maybe 3/4 of a mile to this little pier here. And then out from here, you will go on your journey. We ended up at Honeymoon Beach, which was right on the other side of here. And we snorkeled here. It was really good snorkeling. Otherwise, if you go on the city tour, eventually, my parents did that. They came back around here, and there was a sweeping view of the cruise ships here. And it was, listen, there is, no matter what you do, if you're a snorkeler, if you're beach, that's going to be perfect. If you like to see the city, just walk the city, you certainly could. I would take a taxi. Let me zoom out here for you and show you kind of the lay of the land. Here we are. So if I zoom out, it's not super. It's not like walking distance in a matter of speaking. And I'd say that because I made the same mistake with my family at San Juan, Puerto Rico. Like, hey, we can walk on down to the fort. Not in a matter of speaking. It's not that close. So here is all the stuff. Here's your cruise port here. And here's all the shops I was telling you about. You got rows and rows and rows, and even this stuff's shopping. And this over here, there's not like shops for us, right? And then, yeah, I mean, some more stuff. But the city proper is over here. So if you're going to hang out like the waterfront over here, I would recommend a cab. Or I recommend an excursion. The pros and cons, if you do an excursion, of course, it's a little bit more money. I guess that's the con. The pro is the boat won't leave without you if the whatever got you to wherever you're at breaks down. I don't want to miss the boat. That's a big priority of mine. Will you probably make it back? Sure, surely, right? But it's a beautiful island. I mean, the water is just fantastic. Some beaches over there. There's the airport. So, all right, let's hop into it here. And on to the next perfect day at Coco. Listen, this is the private island. You're on one of the better ships in the world. Royal Caribbean has done a fantastic job with this island. There's so much free stuff to do. Whether it's eating, snorkeling, swimming, lounging. Now, like all things, if you want to do more, they got excursions. You can spend money too. I just haven't felt the need to do that. And I will, if you haven't seen CocoCay, if you just like seeing pictures, I'll leave it to Royal Caribbean. There's just so much to do. It's the most fun you can have, and I won't go beyond that. So with that, let's wrap up with some final tips and thoughts. Uh, you can choose assigned dining if you can get flexible dining. Try to take advantage of it. And here's the reason why. If there's a show, and this ship has some of the most fantastic shows that you want to see, and it's at a set time, it could conflict with your dinner options. So instead of rushing your dinner or maybe missing the show, I find a flexible dining option certainly worked for me. Try to fly in the day before. And Port Canaveral is actually served by Orlando International Airport, also Melbourne, a little bit further to the south of Cocoa Beach, south and southwest. GoPort is a popular option. There's a lot of other shuttles, as we mentioned, Mears. And when you're leaving, just remember, in that first slide, Orlando International Airport is pretty far away from the port terminal. It's about a 45-minute drive. I've done it faster, I've done it slower, but that's the average. That's what I would quote. But you're not the only one getting off the ship. The ship's big. Anytime afternoon should be okay. And then I always recommend if you have a kid. I made this mistake once. Thought day 2 was pretty good. It was just kind of like going to school, but like joining the school in the middle of the school year. Day 2 was a world of difference. It just wasn't as enjoyable. So if you can get them in day 1, day 1 is just a fantastic opportunity for everyone to be new together. And I guess there's safety in being new together. Otherwise, hey, it's it's going to be a fantastic time. You're on a great. You're going to some great places. You're on a fantastic ship. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But I hope this orientated you, helps you save money, and you can do some free things, or enlightened you as to whether or not you want to drop some coin and do some things that aren't free. And I'll see you on the next video.